Hello everybody, in this lesson I will discuss 7 examples and I will teach you how to find unknowns in triangles. In other words, typical questions you can expect in a test or an exam. Example 1. Find the size of the unknown, give reasons for all statements. And can you see my little toolbox came with? Now, first of all, there's triangle DEF, and the angle we're looking for is angle X, and it lives inside a triangle. So therefore, we can say that X plus 95 plus 35 is equal to 180 degrees. And the reason, the sum of angles in a triangle, they are supplementary. And then we can solve X. 95 plus 35 is 130. Let it walk across 180 minus 130. X is equal to 50 degrees. Example 2. Find the size of the unknown, give reasons for all statements. So when you go to your little triangle DFE, there at E, you can see that there's your exterior angle since side FE was extended. So we have a theorem, it's this one. The exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the opposite interior angles. And the opposite interior angles are D and F. And Y we find in the exterior angle. So now we can say that 95 degrees plus 50 is equal to Y plus 10 degrees. And our reason, the exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the opposite interior angle. Now we will solve Y. So we will start by saying 95 plus 50 is 145, and then we solve Y. So the 10 will walk across 145 minus 10. Y is 135 degrees. Example 3. Find the size of the unknowns. Give reasons for all statements. So when you go to your sketch, you will see triangle ABC, and it's given that AB is equal to AC. In other words, there's an isosceles triangle. So we can start by saying that angle X will be 42 degrees. It's this base angle of the isosceles triangle, but you cannot use that as a reason. Your reason is angles opposite equal sides. And then we also know that Y is 20 millimeters, and your reason there is it was given that they are equal. AB is equal to AC. Example 4. Find the size of the unknown, give reasons for all statements. So now you will find that the unknown is A, and there's the two stripes on the sides, therefore this is an isosceles triangle. So we can start by saying that angle A is also equal to Y, and our reason, angles opposite equal sides. And then we can say that Y plus 74 is 180 degrees, and the reason, sum of angles in a triangle. Then we will solve Y by saying Y plus Y is 2Y plus the 74. Let the 74 walk across, and it becomes 2Y is 180 minus 74, which is 106. And then to solve Y, we divide both sides by 2, and then Y is 53 degrees. Example 5. Find the size of the unknown, give reasons for all statements. So when you go to your sketch, it looks as if there's some information missing, but that's not the case. We are dealing with a equilateral triangle since all three sides are equal. So then we can start by saying J is 60 degrees and the reason equilateral triangle. And then once we know the size there, let's add it in 60. And do you agree, since it's an equilateral triangle, we know that all three angles are equal and they are all 60. Then we can say that K plus J is 180. And the reason why we can say that is, can you see they form adjacent angles on a straight line, supplementary. And then we know that J is 60 degrees, so we can solve K. Let the 60 walk across, 180 minus 60, therefore K is 120 degrees. Now I also want to show you something, that maybe you saw K as the exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the opposite interior angles, and that will also be marked right. Example 6. Find the size of the unknowns. Give reasons for all statements. Let's go to the sketch. Can you see that DC is equal to AC? That implies we are dealing with an isosceles triangle, so this angle will be equal to that angle. Furthermore, we can also see that CB is equal to AC, and that means that this angle at B is equal to A1. It's also an isosceles triangle. Now, let's do the sum. Let's start with angle A1 is equal to 48 degrees, and our reason, angles opposite equal sides, since it's an isosceles triangle. Then we can say, once we know the size, we write it in on our sketch. We can now say that angle P plus 48 is equal to 180 degrees. In triangle ABC, they are the sum of the angles in a triangle are supplementary. Then we can solve B. 48 plus 48 is 96, and let's let the 96 walk across and it becomes P is 180 minus 96, so therefore P is 84 degrees. Let's move over to triangle ADC. We can say that C1 is equal to 48 plus 48. Now why can we say that? Let's look at this. There's C1 equal to 48 plus 48. Can you see the exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the opposite interior angles? Then 48 plus 48 is 96. So C1 is equal to 96. Let's move over to M. We can say that D1 is also equal to M. And why can we say that? Because it's an isosceles triangle, and the correct reason is angles opposite equal sides. So now we can say that M at A plus M at D1 plus the 96 at C1 is equal to 180 degrees, sum of angles in a triangle. And now we can solve M. M plus M is 2M. The 96 will walk across. 180 minus 96, I'm there now, is 84. 2M is equal to 84. And then divide by 2 both sides, and we find M is 42 degrees. Example 7. Find the size of the unknown, give reasons for all statements. Now you will see that suddenly we have AF equal to AB, so that means there's an isosceles triangle. But there's also parallel lines, ED parallel to AC, And then, since they are parallel, can you see the corresponding angles there? Remember, when there's parallel lines, you've got 3 reasons that you may use. Let's start. Angle X is equal to 40 degrees, and I use the parallel lines there. Can you see it forms corresponding angles equal? So once you know the size, you fill it in on your sketch. Then we can go and say y is equal to 40 plus 20. Now, do you understand why? Since y is the exterior angle of the triangle is equal to the sum of the opposite interior angles. So y, there's your reason, exterior angle of a triangle. Y is then 40 plus 20 is 60 degrees, and it flew in. And then we can go to Z and say Z is 60 degrees, and your reason, angles opposite equal sides. In the next video, I will discuss the properties of quadrilaterals. Click on the video in the left-hand corner to take you straight to the next video.